Welcome to the weekly review. If you have not yet done your weekly review, close this video and do it, because you will learn more that way after that compared to mine. So this week we had a weekly fair value gap right here. What did I expect? I expected the weekly fair value gap to potentially hold and send us back down, targeting these lows right here. Did that happen? No. Why didn't it happen? So we had a daily fair value gap getting created while we are trading to the weekly fair value gap. Let me mark out the weekly fair value gap. Let me just use the blue line. So this is the weekly fair value gap right here where my mouse is. Let me double check. Yep. So we trade aggressively into the weekly fair value gap, leaving a daily fair value gap to the upside. And then we trade back into the daily fair value gap and this plays up while simultaneously having a breaker pattern on GU. What does this indicate? That indicates to us that we are likely heading to the premium of the dealing range, which is from this high to this low. Now, honor, why that high to that low? As you guys can see here, we have a breaker pattern right here, go up, displays back down, breaking this, come back up, go back down, displays, breaking this, which leaves us with this daily dealing range. So now this is the equilibrium of the dealing range. Now I'm going to remove it. So after we tap into the daily fair value gap, if we tap it and close under it, okay, green light, probably go look for shorts. But what happens? We trade into it, displays back up. Now I wanted to see price because I didn't know about this daily fair value gap, unfortunately. I mislooked that. That's my bad because I was marrying my short bias from this weekly fair value gap. That's why you need to make a scenario for bullish and bearish so you can see if you don't miss anything with a neutral view. And I'm not perfect. I'm a human too. Like, you know, high, low, low. I want to see this breaker hold. What happened when, when price opened up, it immediately disrespected it, which means this is high likely a liquidity sweep. So then my eyes immediately went to this becoming a breaker. Why? Because we swept out buy side, is it sell? I don't know. We swept out this liquidity, I want to see price displays, come back, go up. Unfortunately, price did not do it that beautifully. And in my in the analyst channel, I also sent out that I want to see price come over here immediately, which we did not do immediately, but we had GU confluence. GU traded above this breaker, tapped it in London session. And then if we go to London session, this does not look like a convincing unicorn and it happened outside the kill zone. So what happens after? We sweep the lows and we create a unicorn pattern upwards, limit on the breaker, stops. You could place it under the balanced price range. Why? Because the criteria of balanced price range are that price should not stay in that long enough, and we have 3 PD arrays, the breaker, fair value gap. Like, why would we go up that far? And then you could target, for example, these highs, or these highs. Now, unfortunately, price did not properly follow through, but this would be like a day where you bank 1 RR if you close it at the daily close. So this was a trade that was possible in the week. Now, then we go back to the daily time frame, and I have this one model which I have taught like long time ago, and it is when we have a daily swing low. We have not yet seen expansion to the drawn liquidity if you have a bias. So our bias is daily fair value gap to the drawn liquidity right here. Then you can bet the day after to be a expanding candle. And if you just follow that logic, the daily swing low model, then during London open kill zone, price retraced into quote unquote what we can call discount. And then ignore this range. This range is for later. Let me just delete it right now because we retraced, came back up. Now, is this a very good trade? In my opinion, no. But is it a valid one? Yes. Why? Because we are in discount of the range. As you guys can see, high, low, higher, high, low, high. So you could risk it. We have the daily fair value gap back in us. We have a daily swing low. You could be like, okay, let me just risk it for a biscuit. What happens? You would make a beautiful 2 point something RR. And then price in New York session would reverse on you. But luckily, we have no entry pattern right here. So you wouldn't have entered anyways. Now on to the next day. And this day, after price does not follow through here, you should be like, okay, now the red lights happen even more than previously. Because if we were to go up, we should have went up from this daily fair value gap. Now, what does price do? Rebalance or seek liquidity. And when we are disrespecting both PDRAs, what's price going to do? It is in a range-bound market. Long story short, price will sweep liquidity and seek to go back into equilibrium of the dealing range. Why equilibrium of the dealing range? Because equilibrium of the dealing range is like neutral price type beat. So anything below premium could be a possible range long target equilibrium of the range. And that's why I also wrote this trade right here to study. We have a sweep down key reaction at the key level, and then you can just target 2RR easily if you want, or let it run to equilibrium, which will be hard to hold because we have FOMC, and I don't know if you guys have the mental capital to hold a trade for 12 hours. Like y'all ain't on my level. Nah, kidding. I don't know if you guys would have had the mental capital to hold that, but I'm still putting it here as journaling purposes. And then obviously you guys know NFP protocol. I'm not interested in looking at these price actions, but as we know, it was quite beautiful price action when we look at it in hindsight. We have price just taken out the early longers. The day after is a close of candle towards premium inside of the daily range. That was a mouthful. I talked fast because my brain is working hella fast, you feel me? I hope this outlook helps y'all. Review helps y'all, and I'll do the outlook after this. Why? Because I want to have a channel with reviews and a channel with outlooks. I think that will be better. Feel me? Alright, boys, thanks for watching. Peace.